Hi guys, outside again, much more my habitat. Anyway, word of the day on the Scam Chair Detective Diaries live, breaking news, is baloney, to quote Judge Judy. Armchair detective, scam chair detective, and his baloney are getting right up my nose. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. In fact, his sort of abnormal behaviour has got more intense, more frequent, and more bonkers. And I've realised that actually what is not normal to people must be starting to look normal, because what this person, and I say that very loosely, what this person or monster is doing is not normal. It's not normal to sit there with your computer at home and then pretend that you're doing a live and that a member of the CBI or FBI is in your live. It's not normal to say, right, yeah, I'm just waiting for FBI to come on. Waiting for FBI to come on. Hello, Tammy from the FBI. That's not normal. It's not normal to do what Alan Vinnicum is doing. And it's not normal to be able to lie your way through everything in the way that he is. Everything is bogus or a lie. Every guest, every action, every story, every narrative, every comment he makes is a lie, even down to now lying about other people. People have disagreed with him, so instead of actually opening a debate and agreeing that some people just disagree with him, he calls them haters. And himself the army. So he's at war because people disagree with him and have pulled him up on his behaviour. So then he has to start another narrative that suits him, which is that all these people are now paid trolls. We're paid trolls. I'd love to know how much money I'm getting. Maybe he's not including me in this troll. Maybe I'm just not important enough because I'm such a micro channel, right? Because I actually know my subs, because I actually care about them. I don't have that many that they just disappear into the ether and I can be rude to them like he can. It doesn't really matter. I've lost my train of thought now. Yeah, so he's making up this weird narrative, which is not normal, guys. Even in YouTube land, which is a really weird land, and it's not mainstream TV, it's not television, Alan Vinnicum, it's YouTube. It's you sitting there getting very questionable guests on your faux show, which you put no effort into. You just sort of sit there and waffle on. It's interesting that the guests that he has, it's interesting that you never see Alan Vinnicum having a debate with anyone about anything. You never see him sort of spar off someone who's questioning him or talking as two adults about the case. You get him and a psychic, him and astral planer or projector or whatever. He had this guy on the other day who think he's a flat earther, which says it all. It really says it all. And this is the kind of circle that is sort of orbiting Alan Vinnicum. Sort of this whole group of clingers on here that are evidently getting either some kind of exposure or monetary value about being on his show. I don't know whether they contact him or he contacts them. But every single guest is either got their face hidden because they're an insider, and we all know now that all of the insiders were bogus and a complete lie. There's no way that anyone from the prison, working at the prison, could have said all that information. It's just ridiculous. A bogus friend, Shannon, whoever she was, didn't even know the Watts or the Ruseks until the actual murders. So what was going on there, I have no idea. Dr. B, complete scammer in on it. And then he has this guy comes on and starts talking about all this kind of waffle. And then I got onto this astral guy's YouTube, and he's there asking for money because his son is in trouble with the law. And it's just like bing, bing, bing. You cannot ignore these alarm bells. There seems to be something wrong with all of them. I mean, there's something wrong with everyone, but something fundamentally wrong, mostly to do with the law, mostly to do with it being everyone else's fault, not oneself's fault. and this is a theme throughout all of Alan's videos, all of Alan's guests. It's someone else's fault, the problem. It's not ever a sort of a normal person's way of dealing with things, that actually, oh yeah, I take responsibility for my life and I am culpable for my life. He has this whole group of people that are making shit up, trying to go in his slipstreams for some reason, maybe thinking that they can get somewhere through him, and lying again, and then making stuff up that it's someone else's fault. And how is this happening? You know, he had someone on, we had that blooming shuffly card reader on again the other day, who basically did a reading about Maddie McGann, knew nothing about it, and got it all wrong. And then she got on again to one of his lives, and all she could say was, oh my God, to everything he said, because she had absolutely no idea what she was talking about. But I hope the McGanns sue him, because he said that they were out every night drinking, getting drunk. This woman says that Kate McGann was drunk out of her mind that night. Drunk out of her mind. AD then goes on to say that they neglected their children for a week. Now, everything he says is so slanderous, I hope his ass gets sued. But this is exactly the nature of all of his videos. Slanderous, salacious, he almost dribbles with delight making stuff up. And what's incredible is, it's so outrageous now what he says. How are people not seeing through this? Or please tell me that people are seeing through this and they're just tuning in because it's a laugh. I hope so, because I'm laughing. I'm laughing with sort of horror at everything. I just cannot believe that he hasn't had his arse thrown in jail yet. And I would never say this about anyone, and none of anyone else's business is my business. But this is a person who has come on YouTube, is blatantly scamming many, many poor people out of money. I struggle to feel sorry for them, because it's their own choosing, that they're choosing to give money to Alan Winnecombe, a known professional liar. But I do feel sorry for them. But why is this still happening? We have a great community, the people who are actually sort of sane as we can be, rational beings. And the Ruseks contact this group. You know, we're in contact with them. Because all we're trying to do is not solve a solved case, not try and get closer to anyone, get money out of anyone. We don't have an agenda. The only agenda is to get this bloomin' scammer to stop scamming. I don't care if he does videos about ice cream, but what he does is videos slandering everyone. Everyone. Everything he touches turns dark and black and twisted and toxic. There is nothing positive about Alan Winnecombe. There is nothing positive to take away from it. On a cellular level, it's dark and murky and toxic. Everyone who is on his lives, everyone who's on his videos, every bit of news or information that each one supplies is toxic. It's sort of claggy and clings to you, and it's murky and dark. And then when you find out more about these people, they are murky and dark. It's a very, very destructive channel. And I don't believe it has any place in society as it is right now. I don't think it has any place. What possible function does Alan Winnecombe serve in what he's doing? I mean, it's incredible that this person thinks they're behaving normally. They're not behaving normally in any way. I mean, it's quite terrifying how they're behaving. I wonder if he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing to see if YouTube will do anything. But this is a person of such destructive force. I feel, in my opinion, that there are lots of elements of the criminally insane in his behavior. And I wouldn't ever say that about anyone. But the claims that he makes, the stories he makes up, the way he treats others, the circle he surrounds himself with, his history, what he does with his life, his attitude, how he talks about things, it's not normal. It's very, very sick and very, very twisted. You know, the letters, the recent letters going on and quite clearly saying he has 400. That was a guess. No, 300, maybe 300. Anyway, I've got hundreds. None of these other channels have. None of these other channels have. CNN recognised me. CNN didn't mention him at all. CNN didn't mention the armchair detective in any way. He didn't find the shadows in any way. Rourke hasn't watched his video 100 times in any way. He doesn't have the FBI on the other end of his lives anyway. It's all made up. It's all made up. And I know what will happen, that when he does finally get caught, he'll say that it was a character he was playing. And it was a sketch character that he was involved with. And he's just going to brush it off and get, you know, because it can't go into his head. And that's where I believe the psychological problem is. There's something short-circuited in this person's brain that they feel what they're doing is normal. Let me know your thoughts. It's kind of a depressing place to be in. And I normally find it funny, but it's not funny, is it? To the people he's hurt, to the McGanns, to the Ruseks, to the Watts, to the memory of Shanann and the children, it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not normal to behave in this destructive, toxic, desperately vile way. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let's inject some positivity back into YouTube, shall we? Let's get YouTube back to what I believe its original intended thing was. Okay? Let's send out some positive vibes. And let's clear up the Vinner scum. Thanks, guys.